City ambulances are taking to the streets for the first time, but residents still have questions. We've got the answers you need to know tonight.
A popular over-the-counter drug is being taken off the shelves. We'll show you what to look for.
Another day of record-breaking heat. We may do it again tomorrow, but a cool down is coming. I'll let you know when. Coming up.
From the heart of Ball State University, live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being with us. I'm Colton Howard.
And I'm Zoe DeWiggins. We begin tonight with an update to a story we brought you just a couple weeks ago. Today was the first day the city's new ambulances hit the roadways.
It's been a move that's been controversial and a bit confusing for some. NewsLink Indiana's Tyler Brummett is live in the newsroom tonight. Tyler, how's day one gone?
Well, Colton and Zoe, officials do say that there were a few minor hiccups this morning, but other than that, things actually went better than they would have even anticipated. And while the new fire-based EMS era is underway in Muncie, several questions still do remain.
We've had 17 or 18 runs today.
After more than a year of officials going back and forth and debates continuing online, fire-based EMS is now sweeping the city. With the ambulances rolling out, the questions continue to roll in. So we took some common questions straight to the top. A common misconception: the entire city won't actually be served by these new ambulances. Districts 2, 3, 6, and downtown will be covered, but the red zone and the northwest end of the city are still under Delaware County EMS. So why these areas?
We're strategically placed throughout the city, so we've placed these fire trucks and ambulances in situations where we know that we could get to these areas.
Another question: what type of patient service will you get on board these vehicles? Officials say patients will receive basic life support, or BLS, on 2 of the 3 ambulances. The other will have ALS, or advanced life support.
Any call type that is ALS still has a paramedic coming. And then we have our typical mutual aid.
Finally, city officials have claimed the new ambulances will be quick, but just how fast will they be?
We've had multiple time frames under 3 minutes today. And it's just incredible to get into those neighborhoods as quickly as we are.
While the debate continues online, both Clark and Bell hopes the community will put their differences aside.
This is something that we've done for the citizens of Muncie, and we think that it is definitely something that will save lives.
I think it's just a great thing, and if people hopefully just give it a chance, take everything, politics, everything out of it, and see that this is a good thing for the community.
Now, both Clark and Bell say that employees on these ambulances will continue to receive training over the next few weeks to try to combat some of those minor problems. And we're going to have this story along with a full timeline of how this whole program came together online at ballstatedaily.com. For now, live in the newsroom, Tyler Brummett, NewsLink Indiana.
All right, well, thank you, Tyler. Of course, NewsLink Indiana will keep you updated as more progresses. 16 Indianapolis students were hospitalized today as a precaution after being mistakenly injected with insulin. McKinsey Center for Innovation and Technology students were injected by Community Health Network personnel during a tuberculosis skin test. The district says it's working closely with Community Health Network to determine the cause of that error.
And CVS is pulling a heartburn drug off the shelves over cancer concerns. The pharmacy chain says it has stopped selling Zantac and its own generic versions of the medication. Now, the move comes after the U.S. Food and Drug Administration said acid-reducing medicines with ranitidine contain low levels of an impurity that could cause cancer. Now, despite CVS's decision to stop selling the medicine, Zantac and its generic counterpart have not yet been recalled, but CVS says customers who have already bought the products can return them for a refund. And now, I don't know about you, Colton, but I wish that these hot temperatures would be flying off the shelves at this point.
I know. We got a little taste of that beautiful fall weather last week. Please bring it back. Gabe, can you bring that back?
Hey, Zoe and Colton. Yeah, I do have some good news. I will be able to bring back some of that fall weather. We've got to get through some record-breaking heat, at least for the first half of the week. We got up to 92 today. That broke the record previously held of 89 degrees on average. We're only at 72 degrees. So we're 20 degrees warmer than average for this day in history. Similar story across the rest of the state, up to the lower 90s through much of central and southern Indiana, to upper 80s as you head north of Muncie. Now, we will see those temperatures back off a bit as we get through the evening, down into the mid-70s, partly cloudy skies, but there is a cool down coming. I'll let you know when that arrives in my full forecast.
Thanks, Gabe. A farmland woman faces 41 years in prison for a highway crash that killed her 6-year-old daughter. That was a Delaware County judge's ruling today. The woman was driving a van in May 2017 when it crashed along the Muncie bypass, killing her child who was not in a safety seat. Now she told jurors she had drank whiskey and smoked marijuana before the crash.
California's governor signed a first-in-the-nation law today that will let college athletes hire agents and make money from endorsements. The law will take effect in 2023. Students at public and private universities in the state will be allowed to sign deals with advertisers and profit from their images, names, and likeliness. The new law applies to all sports and it bars schools from kicking athletes off the team if they're getting paid. Before the governor signed the bill, the NCAA cautioned that the law would give California universities an unfair recruiting advantage, potentially prompting the Athletic Association to bar them from competition. Something dangerous is growing in river waters around the state.
We'll let you know where you need to avoid next.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. The David Owsley Museum of Art is honoring Hispanic Heritage Month with a new exhibit. The museum installed a mini exhibition of artwork from 5 Hispanic artists. Collection manager and registrar Denise Mahoney will be giving an express talk over the pieces. She will discuss the type of art on display and how it relates to the Hispanic artists that made them.
The Express Talk on Wednesday at noon is emphasis on Express, so you'll be in and out in 30 minutes, so you'll still be able to enjoy your lunch hour, but hopefully you will have learned a little something more about these artists and about the works behind me in particular. Feel free to come in with any knowledge you have of Latin American artists such as Diego Rivera, or if you have no knowledge at all, you're more than welcome to learn as much as you can too.
The mini exhibition will be up until October 21st, and the Express Talk will be held this Wednesday at noon.
The Indiana Academy for Science, Mathematics, and Humanities hosted their Preview Day today for prospective students. Preview Day showcases one of the best public high school programs in the nation. This event was hosted at the L.A. Pittenger Student Center, where the families heard from academic and student affairs, as well as in the athletic advisor. Students learned everything about the program, from academic requirements to visiting classrooms and even hearing from a panel of students.
So it provides students with a snapshot, if you will, of what the Academy's like. And then we recommend students also attend Shadow Day. They're paired with an Academy student and they attend classes, take lunch breaks, and do whatever their Academy student ambassador is doing that day. And then parents come back and pick them up about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So it truly allows them to experience the Academy.
Now, Shadow Day is Friday, October 18th, and registration is open now. And Indiana officials are warning people about harmful algae blooms on the Ohio River near Cincinnati, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. The Indiana Department of Environmental Management and the Indiana State Department of Health issued this warning on Friday. Now, the agencies caution swimmers and boaters to be careful in all recreational waters this time of the year and to avoid contact with visible algae as well as swallowing water.
Federal officials say Indiana company is recalling over 700 pounds of ready-to-eat pork products which may be contaminated with Listeria monocytogenes. The U.S. Department of Agriculture's Food and Safety Inspection Service announced late Saturday that the products by Fisher Packing Company in Rinke were shipped statewide. The products should be thrown away or returned to the place of purchase.
A Muncie man never thought he would be selling barbecue sauce, but here he is 13 years later with a business that continues to grow.
Never thought I would be doing this, but I absolutely love it.
Making barbecue sauce has always been in Lethea Pegues' family. That's why 13 years ago he started a barbecue sauce business based in his hometown of Muncie.
Some families are soccer families, some families are football. We were a barbecue family. My grandpa would get up on the weekends and barbecue, and he would sell dinners from his home. And so this was just his passion, and I grew up in that.
Pegues' grandfather made a special barbecue sauce, but he never wrote down the recipe.
I was attending Indiana University, and I was grilling out one weekend and decided that I was going to try to recreate my grandpa's secret sauce, just based off of memory.
After 5 years of trial and error, Pegues finally came up with the recipe he thought was a good replica of his grandpa's sauce. He proceeded to start his own barbecue sauce business named after his grandpa, John Tom. Now, John Tom's barbecue sauce is sold in more than 100 retail locations, and even some schools, such as Ball State, use the sauce.
Saw the product and decided to bring it in, and everybody tasted it, enjoyed it. It went up to our bid process, and now we use it campus-wide.
Pegues is extremely thankful for the friends and family who have supported him through this whole process. In Muncie, Marley Thomas, NewsLink, Indiana.
Pegues is excited for the business to continue to grow. As of now, the sauce is sold throughout locations in Muncie, such as Payless and Target.
Listen up, guacamole fans. It looks like science is saving the avocado from climate change. Scientists in the U.S. and Mexico have mapped the DNA sequences of several types of avocados, including the popular Hass variety. That now means avocados can be designed to survive higher temperatures and drought. It's too soon to start looking for genetically modified avocados, partly because avocado trees take at least 3 years to mature. Now with the expanding climates of avocados, Gabe, do we get avocados in Indiana now?
Hey, I'd say with this heat this week, we could definitely use some avocados or grow some avocados here in Indiana, but the heat's only gonna last so long this week. I'll tell you when it comes to an end, right after the break.
For those who serve today, and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySineseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Action!
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all.
Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Now, I know we were talking about earlier, it's the end of September. It theoretically should not be 92 degrees.
No.
Yeah, fall's the
What's going on?
transition season, so we can see some extremes of heat and cold, but it feels more like July or August.
I'm gonna need you to tell me that we've got some cool temperatures on the way, Gabe, please.
We do have some cool temperatures on the way, so that's the good news. We have to deal with the heat, though, at least for a little bit here. 9 degrees warmer right now than this time yesterday. We've seen those temperatures really on the rise, and as Zoe and Colton have hinted at, it's fall. It's unusual maybe to be seeing some of this heat. So some of you are wondering where the fall colors are. Well, we haven't seen much of those leaves transitioning here in east central Indiana, but notice they're starting to our north as you approach the Canadian border. Some of those trees finally beginning to reach their peaks of those leaves changing. That occurs in east central Indiana here around mid-October, so we still have a couple of weeks to go before that occurs. Now, temperature is still in the 80s, 82 right now. Winds out of the south, pretty light at the moment, though it is still muggy, causing it to feel like 84 degrees. It feels like the summertime air mass in place right now. We won't get much relief tomorrow. The reason for that is for this big ridge in place with the jet stream allowing that hot and humid air to move in from the south. Now notice though what's behind that. A trough is in place off to the west. That'll push its way eastward, bringing much cooler temperatures. And really, this jet stream is why we seem to switch from extreme to extreme. Extreme heat to extreme cold. So some cooler air is on the way, that we do have to deal at least with some heat in the meantime. 92 is what we got up to today. The record was 89. We beat that. I think we'll come close to or beat the record tomorrow as well. Our forecast high is 90 degrees. The record 89 yet again set back in the 1800s. I think we have a good chance of beating that tomorrow, or at least tying that record. So here's precision cast for those temperatures tomorrow. We'll be up to the mid-80s by early on in the morning hours, rising up into the 90s by the mid-afternoon. It'll feel hot and humid. Wear those lighter clothing, dress in lighter colors as well. 91 by around 2 p.m. And similar story, we're continuing to see those warmer temperatures as the afternoon progresses, cooling off though a bit as we work our way into the evening hours. So tonight we will see temperatures drop down to just the 70-degree mark, partly cloudy skies overall. Those clouds continuing to keep some of that heat and humidity around, and not much relief again for the day tomorrow. 90 degrees, it'll be hot, though mostly sunny skies, so continuing to see that sun stick around. But if you've been waiting for the cooler temperatures, the mid-7-day forecast is for you. Notice this cold front moves through on Thursday, bringing in some rain showers, most of those staying to the north of Muncie. But look at that, temperatures into the mid-60s, only 64 degrees on Friday. We stick in the mid-60s to upper 60s for the weekend. That's when our next shot of rain arrives with another front that moves through Saturday night into Sunday. So is that good enough for you guys? Some fall-like temperatures returning.
I'm excited. I think that means that I can start breaking out my pumpkin spice lattes again.
You can.
So I think that's what really matters.
Yeah. No, I accept it. I was looking at the Friday forecast. Looks like we're finally going to have some fall temperatures for high school football coverage.
Well.
Imani, is that true?
Yes, that is 100% true. So tonight on NewsLink Sports, we have a new high school game of the week recap. Next in sports.
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10. I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore. And frustration, a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Imani Butts with sports. After losing Saturday, Ball State volleyball looks to bounce back this weekend against Northern Illinois. NewsLink Indiana's Joey Moore has the details.
The women's volleyball team will resume conference play this weekend with 2 matches at home against the Northern Illinois Huskies and the Central Michigan Chippewas. The Cardinals are coming off a solid weekend on the road in Ohio, defeating Toledo 3-0 on Tuesday and falling to Akron 2-3. The Cardinals enter this weekend with an even 7-7 record and a 1-1 conference record. They hope to improve on that with 2 big conference wins this weekend.
I'm looking forward to being at home. You know, we have been on the road and traveling a lot, and that can wear on the bodies. And these guys have been missing class and having to do all this makeup. And so I think just getting into a good routine, finally getting to be home, playing in our home crowd, using the crowd and the momentum behind us, we really feed off of that. And I think I'm excited to be able to be home again, let our crowd get to see us, support us, and just get to play again. I mean, this has been a really fun group so far, and any opportunity we get to play at home is a good one.
Friday's match will be played at 7 p.m. against Northern Illinois at Worthen Arena, and Saturday's match will continue the action also at Worthen at 7 p.m. against Central Michigan. Saturday's match will also be televised on ESPN3. The Huskies are currently tied with the Cardinals in their division at 1-1, while the Chippewas are undefeated in conference play. This weekend should prove to be quite the test for Ball State as they're going up against 2 pretty good teams. In Muncie, Joey Moore, NewsLink Indiana.
That match will be Friday evening at 7 o'clock at Worthen Arena. As Ball State volleyball prepares for a fall contest at home, football prepares to hit the road for fall break. They'll be facing Northern Illinois as well, but on NIU's home turf. Ball State is coming in at 1-3 following their loss to NC State last weekend. NIU is also standing at 1-3 as they have lost 3 games in a row. Both teams are looking to bounce back on fall break and get a jump start to their seasons. The game will be held Saturday afternoon at Husky Stadium in DeKalb, Illinois. Kickoff is set for 3:30. During football season, NewsLink Indiana will be featuring our high school game of the week. In last week's game of the week, we saw Westdale take on the Monroe Central Golden Bears. The Golden Bears got the best of Westdale last week, winning 41-12. This week's game of the week will be between the 1-5 Westdale Warriors and the undefeated Tinley Tigers. We will also be taking a peek at Yorktown at Greenfield Central. Both Delaware County teams will be hitting the road this weekend. The games will be kicking off at 7:30 Friday evening. Yesterday, 24 sectional teams were drawn for postseason action for high school soccer. On the girls' side, Hamilton Heights will face Jay County in match 1. Newcastle will face Yorktown in match 2. And match 3, Delta will face the winner of match 1. For the boys, Yorktown will face Eastbrook, Delta will face Newcastle, and match 3, Jay County will face Blackford. The Muncie Burris received the bye and will face the winner of Yorktown and Eastbrook in the match number 4. Boys soccer will be held at Yorktown and girls will at Newcastle. Actually, I played soccer in high school, central defense, if I do say so myself.
Well, thank you, Imani. Yeah, no, it's going to be great. And it's also awesome to see so many Delaware County schools in that mix of sectionals.
Yeah, and it's so much fun that we're doing this high school game of the week. There's nothing more fun than high school football.
There is not. And after you get done watching some high school football on Friday nights, you may want to come back home and watch some Netflix. Coming up, we'll tell you what Netflix show is coming back to your TV screen.
And also find out what a Florida man found at the bottom of the ocean after Hurricane Dorian.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders in the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, Mitts will take you there.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener and loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Time now to take a look at what's trending.
And joining us now is NewsLink Indiana's Peyton Green. What do you have for us, Peyton?
It was just announced today that Stranger Things was renewed for a 4th season. The producers announced this news today on Twitter. Stranger Things is a sci-fi horror show that has become one of the Netflix top shows. Season 3 started streaming on July 4th and became one of Netflix's top series. Within the next year, expect to see the kids from Hawkins back on your TV screen. A Florida man, Marshall Schuyler, went diving for lobsters after Hurricane Doreen and came across something interesting. He came across an iPhone covered in barnacles. Behind the case was a fishing license to which he
surprised Sklar with his favorite drink to say thank you.
It's a lobster magnet, maybe.
The phone still has some leftover growth from the ocean.
I was going to call Apple and say, hey, I don't know what happened to my phone, just stopped working.
Instead, Miranda will keep it for a good story to tell about an iPhone, a fishing license, and the power of social media. And to surprise Sklar with his favorite drink to say thank you.
It's a lobster magnet, maybe.
The phone still has some leftover growth from the ocean.
I was going to call Apple and say, hey, I don't know what happened to my phone, just stopped working.
Instead, Miranda will keep it for a good story to tell about an iPhone, a fishing license, and the power of social media.
Now, that's definitely an interesting story. You know, I'm wondering, will rice maybe fix that phone? I don't think maybe
so.
that water damage can be repaired by just
That's some
rice.
wishful thinking, Zoe.
You know, it's worked in the past. Actually, it's never worked for me. Every time I've tried that, it's not gone well.
I dropped my phone in the toilet.
I did that
And rice didn't bring it back, so I
she was
doubt that
gone.
putting it in the ocean, that one's gonna come back. I think that man just needs to cut his ties. Sorry to hear that.
I think you might be right. Well, you know, maybe our weather is going to be a little less soggy than this phone.
Yes.
Let us know. Tell us these cool temperatures are on the way. Make our days better, Gabe.
Yeah, wild temperature swings. Not a whole lot of rain, though, as you alluded to in the 7-day forecast. Temperatures near 90 both tomorrow and Wednesday. It will be hot, feel humid like summer. Though notice we start to see some rain showers arrive on Thursday, and those bring us much cooler temperatures for the second half of the week to highs only in the mid-60s. Rain returns, though, for the second half of the weekend. So some fall-like weather's on the way.
Well, thank you, Gabe. I'm excited to get out my coffee, my sweaters, all that kind of thing.
Yes.
We're looking forward to it.
It's time.
And tomorrow we begin spooky season.
You're right. You're right. It's my favorite season. All right. Well, that is all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.